I have this friend who has problems pronouncing the Swahili word aibisha. Okay, kuaibisha, right? Anyway, wewe Ruto, mbona wewe naenda aibisa sisi hivyo CNN? Aibu tupu, aibisa sisi sana. Now, the interview between William Samoei Ruto and the CNN was very, very interesting. Now, I have a lot of respect for Deputy President William Ruto, and whatever people say about him, I have a lot of respect for his intelligence. He's a very intelligent man. And so I'm a little puzzled the way he would go into an international television interview and tell lies without checking a few facts first. Gosh, this painted the country in a very, very bad picture. Okay? Anyway, I'll be back in a second. We have a short commercial message. Welcome back. Now, I'm sure DP William Ruto knows that unlike August 8th, the polling stations countrywide had access, media had full access, okay? Media had full access into the tallying centers countrywide, okay? Now, just an interesting aside, I heard one of the IEBC commissioners saying, you know, this time we allowed full and fettered access, and the way he said it is like he's doing a favor to the press. It's like IEBC are doing a favor to the Kenyan people. Hey, this thing is in the constitution, Bwana. You're supposed to allow full access, and an election is supposed to be very transparent. Anyway, so this full access to the polling centers, this full access to the tallying centers was for both local press and international press. Now, the difference between international press and local press is that a lot of international press, especially for reputable international media houses like CNN, they have experience in many, many trouble spots where they have to go and listen to both sides of the story. Yeah, so they have gained experience in knowing who is telling the truth, who is not telling the truth. They have gained experience in knowing what is propaganda, what is not propaganda. Okay, so the CNN came up with their own estimate of the voter turnout. Yeah, and it was, do you know what it was? 28%. Now DP Ruto goes on to CNN, yeah, and during the interview, and that's why, if for those who watched the interview, you will notice that the person interviewing, the lady interviewing him, she really pressed the point about the number of votes Jubilee got. She really pressed the point forward about the voter turnout. Why? Because CNN had their own estimates, their own independent estimates of the voter turnout, and it was 28%. And if you check the interview carefully, it's still available on YouTube, you will notice that the lady interviewing him is very skeptical. Yeah, as he, you know, as he tapikas his figures here and there, almost 90% of the vote we won out of the people turned up, blah, 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 threshold of constitution, blah, blah, blah. Yeah? You see, the international press is not like, like the local, some people call it press release press. What do I mean by press release press? What has happened, there's a habit which has come into our local journalism, very bad for the journalism profession. Yeah, where journalists simple, you know, they don't want to do any hard work, they don't want to do any donkey work, they don't want to do any simple research. Yes, they go somewhere, a politician gives them a press release, a news release, they rush back to the offices and do a story. Yeah, without even doing any fact checking. Yeah, because somebody gives you a press release and says Jubilee is the most popular party in the country. Okay, don't you think it would stand to reason for you to go and check and confirm, so that in your story, right, Jubilee said that they're the most popular party in the country, but according to statistics, blah, 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 blah. So one wonders the truth of this statement, something like that. Now, during the reign of this press release government of ours, or propaganda government, we've had instances whereby articles written in State House, yeah, which are supposed to be actually press releases, that is, you take them, you edit them, you change them, blah, 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 before you publish them, yeah. We've actually had what you call cut and paste. A story comes from State House, they actually just take the whole story and just paste it in Nation. What? And maybe in a way, that's why I don't blame those Jubilee supporters who say I'm biased. You know why? Because they're so used to those press releases from State House, yeah, that according to them, somebody who is balanced is somebody who writes a story or does a video that would have actually been done from State House, yeah, one-sided, yeah, supporting Jubilee. Now immediately you bring in the opposition, you're biased. Our Kenyan press must take part of the blame, yeah, for changing our country into what it is today. Anyway, now the other thing, you know, these are international press, yes. The other thing, they do quick additions. You know, when somebody says a statement, they seek even to qualify it, even before you go out and do any research. Somebody gives you a statement, you already have facts with you. I'll give you a very simple example. Bwana Chebukati says that the voter turnout was 33%. Yeah, one of his statements, he said it was 33%. That works out to 6,553,858 votes. Okay? Now, he says that is from 267 constituencies. Okay? Now, Kenya has 290 constituencies. Yes? Kisumu has 7, Siaya has 6, Homa Bay has 8, and Migori has 8. That's a total of 29. Okay, and we know, everybody knows, there was no voting in those constituencies. Now, if you add the number of constituencies where the IEBC says there was voting, which is 267, to the ones in Luo Nyanza which did not vote, which are 29, what figure do you get? You get 296. But you have only 290 constituencies. So there are 6 extra constituencies there. What? I'm telling you, IEBC have worked themselves into a corner. Na hiyo kona sijui watatoka namna gani. It's like a man who just lies and lies and lies. His wife asks him, where were you last night? Oh, I was with my friend Fred. Ah, okay. He's asked, what were you doing? Oh, we're watching the soccer game between Arsenal and Manchester City. Okay. And then 5 minutes later, his friend comes in and says, hey, I say, Joro, stand to watch your game in Arsenal Man City. Yani his friend walks in today asking them to go and watch a soccer game that was supposed to have been yesterday. Anyway, that is the corner where the IEBC have worked themselves into. Yeah, you tell lies, then the lies stop making sense. Yeah, CNN say they estimate 28%. Hata kama wamefanya makosa sana, 30%. Okay, let's give Jubilee the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, but Jubilee is trying to tell us 7 million voters. Is trying to tell us that really NASA being out of this race had 0 impact. Yeah, and I keep saying it would have worked if they had done what they did on August 8th, shut down the polling stations where there was completely no access to polling stations. You know, where there were heavy security at the gates of polling stations. Very unconstitutional, eh? But they didn't care. Yeah, and where journalists were being told when they ask for results, just give us your email address. We'll send the results to you later. I'm telling you, this Kenya of ours. Hey! Anyway, my point is that it would have worked. Yeah? They would have just, what they needed to do, they would have just shut down all the polling stations, which is unconstitutional. Yeah? Made sure that Kenyans are not seeing what is happening in the polling station. Made sure there's no live television right inside the polling station, showing that the place is deserted and the returning officers are asleep. Then it may have worked. But as it stands now, we're heading to a very, very embarrassing situation for the IEBC. Extremely embarrassing. And that is why I said in an earlier recording, as far as I'm concerned, IEBC, kwisha maneno. It will never carry out any other election in this country. Mark my words. How that is, we just say IEBC RIP. Maneno yao kwisha kabisa. Something else very interesting that came out of the IEBC, out of the interview between DP Ruto and the CNN, was the fact that Raila's name came into the conversation. Yeah, I mean, Jubilee just cannot help bringing Raila in. Okay, now I find this fascinating. Yeah, because you are discussing a totally different issue. Oh, you know, my wife has left me. Oh, you know, we had a misunderstanding. Raila is to blame. Really, it's getting out of hand. Yeah, because what we are seeing countrywide is Kenyans who want change. Yeah, and a lot of those Kenyans, by the way, a lot of them are not Raila Odinga fanatical supporters. That one I can assure you. Yeah, they just want change. Okay, so don't bring in somebody's name every time, every set. And you see, especially such a high-ranking Jubilee official just tells you there's something very, very wrong here. Now, before I go, I need to share with you a very hilarious explanation, about the fake numbers of voter turnout that Jubilee are peddling. Okay, now this is the explanation I had very recently. It is just hilarious. And the fact that the person said it with a straight face and looking very serious made it even funnier for me. Okay? This is what they said. You know, you guys were not at the polling station the whole time. You know, okay, you can be at the polling station and, you know, the cameras are rolling and there are no people. And then last minute, between 4 and 6, about 5,000 people come, pop, they vote quickly and pop, they're out of the station. So you assume nobody voted. Now, if you don't see how ridiculous that is, let me just explain to you. Yeah. Now, when there are that many people, yes, the process is shorter. Yeah. But something else is going to happen. There's going to be evidence that there have been that many people through it. What is the evidence? The evidence is that there'll be a queue. People will be lining up. Yeah. And then the nature of human nature is such that even after somebody has voted, they'll not rush. They'll not take a sprint outside to get out of the polling station. They'll not take a sprint to get out of the polling station. They'll finish voting. Okay, legally they're not supposed to hang around. Lakini watakaa kidogo hivyo angalie huyo polisi anafanya nini. How many polling officers are there? You know, it's human nature. That while they're walking out slowly, yeah, they'll see what's happening. And especially if there are TV cameras around, the guy will see if he can appear on KTN. You know, kama anaweza pata bahati leo appear on NTV or his favorite TV station. That's human nature. So these people who just dropped from the skies and voted and vanished again, ama it's the dead voters in the voters register. They came as ghosts, dropped from nowhere, voted quickly, and then took off. Oh gosh. Hii comedy ko Kenya. Hey, I think we need to start a new comedy channel here, which is just focused on comedy. Yeah, the kind of comedy which our politicians are churning out. Hey, Churchill achunge bwana, kuna competition. There's very tight competition for the Churchill show here. That one I can assure you. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.